So I was just curious. I was only going to be in for a couple of minutes, but I was curious. In Pennsylvania, the lawmakers, in all their infinite wisdom, um, somebody proposed a bill that said that um, all secondary schools should start at 8:30. Well, should start after 8:30 or after. What do you think of that? Based on research and stuff. But what do you think of that? Does that mean that elementary should start before or continue after? Because if it continues after, kids don't get home until dark. So my question is that a good idea or not good idea? I don't know. I don't know if they thought that through. Now, where my old district where I was, there wasn't enough students. So you could have high schoolers and elementary students on the same bus. But here, or the place that I teach and places around me, they make a kindergarten, or they make two runs, one for secondary and one for elementary, because they're too big. So the question I have is, what about 8:30 start time for secondary? Now, granted, that would feed into sports, practices, so after school activities. And then you have, like I said, you have kids getting home later during the winter time, during the dark. So what is your take on that? Okay, what is your take on that? Just wondering. Do you like it? Not like it? Think it's stupid? Think it has some merit? I don't know. I'm not sure how I would feel on that. I think it's not the best idea thought through. You can have as much research as you want, but how are you going to make that work in practicality? Like, how are you going to make that on paper for the things to work? Because when you can look at a research and you can say, well, this is what the research says. But at the same time, did you look at every piece that goes with that research? Or every outlying factor that would be affected by that research? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Either one way or the other, it might happen. Or it might not. I don't know. But did you look at every factor that goes into that? Because it could change the whole landscape of a lot of different things that go on. And a lot of things with safety and late nights and things like that. So things have to be decided. But it's an interesting concept. So anyway, that's in Pennsylvania. I'm just very curious what everybody else thinks. All right? All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.